Hey, this is Dominic, and I'm going to be going over how to create the weekly social media report. First thing to note, uh, the report, it's supposed to be, so basically I use this numbering system at the beginning of every file that I create, um, 007. So it was 6, now it's 7. Weekly social media report, and I haven't really determined. I haven't really determined date range yet, so I'm gonna throw it in my reports folder real quick. But the 7 allows me to keep them in numerical order, a little easier. Now, all right, so March 18th to the 24th. Um, let's get a feel for where that is on the calendar. Look for the month March 18th to the 24th. All right, so it started on the Monday and it ended on the Sunday. So the next reporting date would be March 25th to the 31st, right? And that'll finish out March. So what I want to do here is go in here and make this March 18th to the 24th. And then over here, 25th to the 31st. Save. All right. Now in this spreadsheet, I have I have places for the. I mean, this is the main report right here, but I also have places for just raw data. And this is actually right here. This is these Twitter 1, Twitter 2, Facebook 1, Facebook 2, Instagram 1, Instagram 2. These are tabs from exported data from Salesforce, and it's all set up, ready to go. Um, you just kind of have to know how to use it. So, um, but the benefit is that these tabs right here, their data actually gets pulled into the data page. So if you look at here, this already does the calculations. You just need to paste that data in there. So what I do is Twitter 2 is that's for previous week. So like last week's Twitter. Um, so last week's report, the numbers that I reported for this week, last week, is now last week, this week, if that makes any sense. So like the Twitter 2 here, it refers to the previous week's data, and this Twitter 1 refers to the current week's data. Sorry if that was noisy. I had to adjust something. So what I'm going to do is I delete these the data on the 2 tab, right? And so that's how I start. And then I go over to the Twitter 1 and go all the way to the left to the column A. Then you just go all the way down and then all the way across. I think that's it. And then you can copy it and just paste it. And to make sure that you copied everything, just kind of as a verification, look up here at the totals and see the first number is 3,433. Okay, let's check Twitter 2. 3,433. Cool. So now in Twitter 1, I can actually delete this. I don't need it. Great. So that's deleted now. And my next step is to go into, sorry, I'm in the wrong workspace here. Go into the Department of Veterans Affairs. Actually, no, it's not even in here. If you click on Social Studio and go to Performance, we'll start with Twitter. Usually I start with Facebook, but since I started with Twitter, I'm just going to go ahead and finish it up. I get rid of this email. Sorry. All right. So go to Customize and Download, and you want to choose Veterans Affairs. So at Dep Vet Affairs, and then you need to set a custom range. So the range, as we discussed, was March 25th all the way to March 31st. And that's that. And just click download report. And so you're going to get this little notification, and then this bell should have a little, yep, there it is, little notification. It says your engagement report is now available for download. So March 25th through April 1st, you'll see this sometimes. It's a little annoying, but it's actually, I've found it to have the correct information. It's just for some reason it does that. Gosh, stop doing that. Anyway, so you download that. And now that is downloading Show in Finder Twitter posts. Okay, so what you can't see because it's over here on my other screen is that it popped up with something that should look very familiar to you because it's exactly the data that was on, or I mean it's not the exact same data, but it's the exact kind of data that was on the previous screen that we just deleted, that we copied over to Twitter 2 and then deleted. So what I'm going to do is highlight all that, Command C or Control C, or otherwise right click and copy if you're on, you know, whatever your preference is and your platform. And then make sure you go all the way over to column A, and right underneath tweet ID, you're going to paste all of that. Boom. And now, remember it's 34, 33. We'll see if the total is different. Sometimes the totals get all screwy. Let's go out of here and then try to go back and see if it changed. Yeah, I don't know why it does that, but it's done that to me before. I just had to save it and like go to a different tab and then come back. But yeah, now it's 4,000, so it looks like we're up a bit. Retweets, man, they're up by 50%. Or well, yeah, last week was 50% of this week. So anyway, so you get the idea. Same thing with Facebook. So we'll go in here, and what you're going to see also is if you go into data and for Twitter, it automatically pulls that data in. So you don't have to do any calculations. All right, this is all done. This is based, this stuff right here, and maybe I should highlight it. Yeah, I'm going to highlight it. I'll highlight it in red. No, I don't like red. Red's ugly. I'll highlight it in this little orange color. This data right here is going to be good to go. It is set. And it just gets kind of pulled in for you. You don't have to calculate it. Now these things right here, you are going to have to find them and type them in. Okay, but it's not hard at all. So let's move on. Let's do Facebook 2. So we, like I said, we don't need this. This data is from 2 weeks ago. We need data from 1 week ago because we're comparing week to week. So usually I click either the top or the bottom. So if I was going to go top, you know, obviously right here, all the way down, and then just keep going until I get all the way across. Facebook has a lot of data. And so now I went all the way to CQ, and I'm going to just hit the delete button, and it clears it all out. Oh, man. Rule number 1, make sure you're in column A. So let's do that one more time. Oh, no, I thought I was. That is so weird. Because, yeah, it's totally gone. But it was just showing up there. All right, I got a ghost in the machine here. All right, so Facebook 1. Again, all the way to column A, should you go. And then copy. Notice we're at we're at row 4. That's where this data starts at for Facebook. So copy or go all the way down to the bottom of that list and then all the way to the right as far as you can go. Well, CQ appears to be the correct column to go to. Then just copy that and then go to column A, row 4 on this tab and paste it. It's down to row 4. There's a space here because over here it takes up 2 cells, 2 rows, explaining what's in this column. So that's what that's about. And if you were to scroll over here to your totals, look at those totals, Facebook 2, and then Sorry, it's being finicky. And if you come over here, what's that? 154, 463. 154, 463. You know you copied everything correctly. So now we can go over here and we can delete this data. We don't need it. All the way down, all the way across, and make it go away. And so now back to column A, row 4, and I want to go to Salesforce. So again, I'm going to go to the Performance tab here. And one more time, in case you're confused about how to get there, just click Social Studio, and you'll initially see all these workspaces, but you want to go to Performance. Okay? And then click for whatever platform you're in. Click Post Impressions and Engagement now for this particular one, because we're going to Facebook. Customize and download, custom range. Like we said, March 25th to, got to go back, March 31st. Okay, and also we had to make sure that we're getting the right Facebook account. So here it is, Department of Veterans Affairs. And that's the only one that we're doing. And now we're just going to click Download Report once again, and you get this notification, and then wait for the bell. Ding, and then just download it. Click the download button. Notice it said April 1st again. I think it depends on what time of day you do it too. So double click on this and it should open up. It's over in this other window again. And then go down to here. Notice it's column 3. It's row 3 on this spreadsheet that you export. And that's because on my spreadsheet I have a totals row up above, so it kind of offsets it by 1. Let's make sure we're at the bottom. Okay, cool. Go all the way over to the right. Back CQ is where you want to go. Copy it, and then come over here and make sure you're in column A, row 4, and paste it. Cool. And now you got your data. It should be different from 154 whatever. Yeah, it's way different. So that's a lot. That went up by a lot. And then you'll see over here in the data, down to Facebook this week, 493 versus last week of 154. It was massive. Of course, it was Vietnam Veterans Day, but so that's why the big increase in engagement. These numbers are metrics of engagement only, not like reach or anything like that. It's actually people clicking on, liking, sharing, stuff like that. So then the last one you really need to do is Instagram. Go over to Instagram too. What I do, as you've seen me do already, I go to post ID, then go down to the next one. Make sure, of course, every time that you're in column A here, control and shift and then down to the bottom. I always go down one extra time and then back up just to make sure I got everything. And then over as far as you can get, which appears to be column AG. And you can just delete that. Boom. Goodbye. Now go back to where I started and go over to Instagram 1 because this is current week and I'm already on A3, so control shift down to the bottom and all the way to the right. Looks like AG again is the place we want to go. Copy it, head over to Instagram 2, paste it, and then compare the totals. 22,308 compared to 22,308 in column R. So it looks like we, sorry, screwed that up. I pushed Command Z instead of what I was trying to push. All right, so we can go back over here and then highlight all this stuff again and delete it. And now I'm going to, yes, export it. So go back to the Performance tab and I'm going to go into Post Engagement for Instagram, Customize and Download. There's only one Instagram account that we've set up in here. Click to Custom Range. March 25th is the start date, starts on Monday, ends on Sunday, and it goes to March 31st. And download report. So I got my notification, got my bell, ready for download. Download. Show in Finder. There it is, double click, and of course it pops up on a different screen. And then all I have to do is come in here, all the way down to the bottom, and all the way over to the right. And it's AG, Command C, or Control C, whatever you're using, and Command V. So we got 24,343 versus 22,308. It's not a huge change, but you know, it's better than nothing. So now we're back here, and the data has changed a little bit, but not a lot. And that's no big deal. Notice the number that I mentioned earlier is not the same number as is here. The number that I mentioned earlier, 24,343, that is the total number of likes. But engagement is likes, comments, saved, combined, I believe, something like that. It's overall engagement is what we're reporting, not just one of these items. So that's why that number is different from what I just said. All right, now you've gotten the raw data imported, and you want to get on toward the to filling out the rest of the data page. Now, for Twitter, well, we want to go over here, over to Social Studio. Oh, sorry. You want to go into Workspaces is where we actually would have gone by default if I didn't click on it initially for no reason. So, okay, we're here. And what you want to do is go to this little, looks like a chart, click it, or like a heartbeat, whatever. And you want to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Notice there's a post reports section, tweets. When we're doing Twitter, we want to do tweets. And then click filters, show filters, and set your dates. March 25th to March 31st. Apply. That's easy enough. And then I usually just sort it by number of retweets. And if you take a look, you can see this is the top performing post. Now, it may be that some other post has more favorites while this one has more retweets. Just, pick one and go. It's not super important. So just in this case, we're going to go with National Vietnam War Veterans Day. So I'm just going to copy this right here. It's National Vietnam War Veterans Day. Command C. Then I'm going to go back over here and paste it. And then number 2 is what? That's a bit long, so I'm just gonna cut it. Gary wants this to be very short, so I'm pasting it up here in this formula bar because I want it to be plain text. I'm not sure if that would, if I paste it directly into the cell, if it would put a hyperlink for the hashtag. I don't really want it to have a hyperlink, so boom. So those are the top 2 posts for Twitter, and that part is done. And then we're gonna go back out here and go into Facebook. Do I want to do Facebook yet? Yeah. Okay, Facebook's next. All right. And same. Show filters, March 25th to March 31st. Apply. And I would go with likes. What got the most likes? Dang. That's massive. And what do you know? It was March 29th, 1973 when the last of our combat troops left Vietnam. All right, so I'm going to just copy this. Again, they want to keep this short and sweet. So I'm going to take that, post it right here for Facebook. Boom. Enter. And then take the second one. What's this one? Of course the phone would ring. Why would it not? Marine killed in Vietnam whose grave was unmarked. I don't like sharing numbers for stories, like somebody else's news story. I prefer to share, um, like, say the top post is one of our actual original content posts. Like, you can tell this is public. This is a link, but it's a link to Fox News. You can see it. It's not really our content. So while it's, it's awesome, that we got this well, that this story got this amount of attention. Um, it's not really something that was generated by our team specifically. So I'm gonna go to the next one, and we'll say it's National Vietnam War Veterans Day again. So if we did honorable mention, I would say Happy Birthday Esther was a pretty awesome one. Um, she got some pretty good numbers here. So now I go back, and the last one I want is Instagram. Then I do my filters once again, March 25th to March 31st, and apply. And then for this one, I mean, we could just click engagement in general, because it's basically this plus this, maybe plus that. So yeah. So we're gonna go with this one. Okay, today is Veterans Day. Oh, today's Veterans Day, or Veteran of the Day is Army veteran Audie Murphy. Okay, cool. It doesn't have to be the same across all channels. So there we go. Number one on Instagram was Audie Murphy, who is a Medal of Honor recipient, so it makes sense. Um, and then the next one, March 25th, 1945, on this day in history, a 350-man Japanese force launched a final counterattack near Airfield number 2 on Iwo Jima. Yeah. Remember, want to keep it short and sweet. Command V. It's a little longer than I'd like it, but that's just how it's going to have to be. Now, I haven't been doing this, but I should probably save it. Okay, cool, save. Now, if you look over here on the report, Facebook is up. Yes, so Twitter's up, Facebook's up, Instagram is up. And we'll have to change this. This is like the only part. This and this, the date. They're the only two parts that you actually have to update stuff. So March 25th through March 31st. Okay. And yeah, so this stuff, some of this stuff you actually have to work on. But actually, these things you may not have access to. This National Vietnam Veterans Day, millions of men in Vietnam War, men and women. Vietnam War Veterans Day. So, yep, there's Audie Murphy, and here's Iwo Jima. Cool. So all this, pretty much this bottom part was auto-populated from the data page. The only other part that I think you may have access to update um, for now is probably going to be the figures for Vantage Point. And I will highlight this one in a light green, just so you can get a feel, because I have access to give you access, I believe, to the Google Analytics for Vantage Point. And let me show you how we get those numbers. I got a tab open here. I'm going to go to Analytics. All right. Sorry. Here's the Veterans Affairs Agency profile. This is not something you'll have access to unless I can find a way to get you access to it. I actually have access to it, to Vantage Point from my personal Gmail account for some reason. so that's working. So then we go to behavior. See, Vantage Point, all website data. Oh, I don't want to open that up any further. Site content. You hush, kitty. And then see, all pages, I guess. Technically, you can do overview. I don't know why I bothered to do all pages. So the overview should do it for you. And then you go in here. Oh, it's already set up. Awesome. All right, so 122.894 is the page views number. So let's go over here, Vantage Point. And in this situation, I do something very similar to what I've done before, and I copy this, Command V, paste it right down here. And so that was last week's numbers, and we now have this week's numbers. So 122.894, 122, comma 894. Enter, and the difference is up 34,496. So I go into this area and say 34,496, and if it was negative then it would be fewer, but since this week it's positive, it's more than previous week. And that is about it. I don't think you can get anything else. If you can get me to here, I will be so happy. Notice when you update that number right there, or update that and this, the information should come into this report. Vantage Point. Oh, and one other thing. Notice anything that says more, you're gonna want to go ahead and change the coloring to. We just do format, copy the format, and paste it right here because it's more than the previous week, not fewer. And that should be it. I will worry about YouTube and VA.gov. If you can update the rest of that, it will be very, very helpful for me. Thank you very much.